we were doing a bank of shows, and one of the girls I used to do a lot of work with, and she was a great dancer, and she came up from Melbourne and I hadn't seen her for a while, and I said to her, oh my God, Rosemary, your legs, they are fabulous, the shape. And I said, and we're doing the rehearsal in heels, and she said to me, Di, I never, ever take my heels off. I'm in them the whole time. Now, as I've said, a lot of doctors and medicos, and if you listen to a lot of the current affair programs, they'll say, it's the worst thing for a woman's spine. But if you have good posture and you know how to hold yourself, you never ever have a problem. I've been in heels for as long as I can remember. I never wear flats. Maybe a Havaiana, you know, in summer when you've got your bikini on and you're by the pool. But 9 times out of 10, I'm always in heels because you keep the shape of your leg. And what it does do, it still keeps that sassy girliness happening. Because once you get into a flat shoe, you tend to get into pants, your stride's longer, and you lose something in that beautiful essence of womanhood. So as much as you can, keep your heels on, and remember, when you've got your heels on and your skirts, you just do. You just tend to feel better. I guess you're all nodding, so you know what I'm talking about. Look, when you're on a runway or a catwalk or a dais or whatever it is, you're in heels, you've got an audience, you can't act natural. You just can't, because it doesn't feel natural. So what one has to do is to be aware and be comfortable in what you're wearing, and to take smaller steps. So when you are stepping up, when you are walking, you're just very conscious that you are taking smaller steps and you're a little bit more controlled. And I guess that's the thing with modelling, that you always are controlled, so you're always thinking about what you're doing. You're always thinking about where you're walking. You're always thinking about standing. So the moment that you're standing with someone and you've got an audience out there in front of you, you're certainly not going to stand like that. Certainly not going to do anything like that. You're always aware of your posture, and you're going to make sure that you've got a nice shaped leg. So I guess probably that's something that when you're up there, you will all feel nervous, and with everyone looking at you, and particularly with all the pressure that's happening, it's very, very easy to say relax and be natural, but you can't. You can never ever relax and be natural when you're in a situation like that. What you just have to do is feel confident within yourself that you are the best that you can be at that given time. We can never ever be any better than what we are on the day. If you trip, then for goodness sake, do it beautifully. And if you fall, then get up elegantly. God forbid, we hope that doesn't happen, but look, on the runways of Europe, some of the best models have fallen, and particularly today when we have high heels and we have platforms, and all you need is a moment of not concentrating on what you're doing, and it's very easy to do that. If you make a boo-boo, whatever you do, don't freeze up. And the funniest part about it is when you're an audience, you might not know anything about walking, you might not know anything about someone talking or singing, but the moment someone makes a mistake, you know it. You just sense it in an audience. And what better way, if you make a mistake, if you know that, oh my goodness, I've said the wrong thing, or I've done the wrong thing, or I've put my hand in the wrong place or whatever, consciously just move or smile and relax with it, because there is nothing worse than watching someone who is feeling, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Oh my God, sort of thing, you know? So if you're in that situation, if you start to feel like you're freezing up, probably one of the things I do, probably because I have great faith, I always go inward and ask for strength, because I believe that, for me, I believe that's the only way that it ever gets us through, to go inward and to ask for our strength, and it's always given to us. I guess it's coming to a peaceful spot inside. So if you're up there and if you're starting to feel a little bit nervous, if you're starting to feel, oh, I've lost it, or the nerves are getting the better of you, try and just take a big deep breath and just feel that sense of peace and relax. Because really, it's all about having a bit of fun too. You know, you're up there, it is going to be a great day, there is going to be one person picked, but you're all here for the journey, so really just enjoy the day's experience. And we all know in our hearts, one is going to win, 9 aren't. So maybe I get it, fabulous. If I don't, it's been a wonderful experience and I've met a lot of great girls and it's been a great community spirit, and you'll probably all keep in touch with one another because that's the sort of thing that you do. You're in this together, and you'll probably be, you know, on Facebook and what have you, checking with each other and seeing what each other is doing throughout their life. I think Bruce is going to be our MC, isn't that right? The lovely Bruce. And I think he'll be asking all of you girls a question or two. When someone asks you a question, in all good faith, you have to answer it how you feel. When I say how you feel, one always has to be very mindful too, like what you say, that you don't offend anybody. There are some issues, like I think if I'm not wrong, I think it was Miss America in the Miss Universe, or no, not Miss America, it might have been, I think it was a Miss America. In the Miss Universe contest, they asked her what she thought. Was it about gay marriages? And she said she didn't believe in them, and of course all the gay population in America jumped up and down, but thanks God for Donald Trump, who gave her the great pat on the back and said, good on you, girlfriend, you know, good thing that you said what you said. So in saying that, if you're asked a question, you have to answer the best that you know how. Be very mindful that you don't do a lot of we don't like and if you feel that you're going to get tripped up, the best thing is to say nothing, just for that moment, until you collect yourself and think, yes, what was I going to say? Just take a pause for a moment and then continue. And of course, we don't want you to go from page to page. So it's a good answer. You have to get your point across, say what you think, but not get too in depth and decide that you're going to solve the problems of the world while you're up there. So little things like if it's a question that you think, oh my goodness, I haven't got a clue what to say, then you've recognised that you've got a major problem and you need to get over that fast. The most important thing is if you do have a moment where confidence has gone, you've hit a wall, and there's that moment of, what do I do? Recognise it. Recognise it, and then take the bull by the horns. The most important thing is to recognise it and move forward. It's when you stand there and go, for a moment, and you have that pause, that if you don't get a hold of it very quickly, that's when it'll trip you up. So they're all things, I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm putting too much pressure on you, but they're all things that you just need to be aware of, and it is a competition. You are going to be on stage tomorrow, so you do have to step up to the mark and be the best you can. But, as I've said, if you do, and we all do, and I've always said, and I will continue to say, and I still get it, the moment before I do a big show, I always get the nerves and I always get the adrenaline rush. And I've always said, the moment you don't get nerves, the moment that you don't get an adrenaline rush, you may as well not be there, because you're not going to step up to that mark and give it the best you know how. And that is what's all in performance and presenting, knowing it, recognising it, and owning your confidence and moving forward. Because we can all have those moments where we don't feel confident, where you're in a room with strange people, all sorts of things are happening, and you've got to take your place and step up and say what you've got to say. So, and you can all do it.